This right here is the Pikachu Illustrator card. It is the most expensive Pokemon card in history, and you may have seen Logan Paul pull up to WrestleMania showcasing this card. Logan Paul has a PSA 10 Illustrator Pikachu, which is estimated around $5.3 million. Yes, I said it, $5.3 million, which is insane. The PSA 10 grade means this is a virtually perfect card with no or minimal defects. Logan Paul acquired this card by trading a PSA 9 Illustrator Pikachu, which he bought for $1.3 million from another collector, and added $4 million on top to trade for his PSA 10 version. And the person who owned the PSA 10 version before Logan Paul was a private collector. We do not have any information about him because he wanted to stay low-key. And I know this sounds like an insane price to pay for a Pokemon card, but to understand why this card is worth this much, let's do a deep dive of this card's history. And even if you know a little bit about this card, make sure you watch till the end, as I will let you in on some information that majority of people do not know about this card. The fact blew my mind. This card was designed by Atsuko Nishida, and if you heard that name, she is responsible for designing Pikachu, as well as some of my other favorites are Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, Squirtle, Wartortle, as well as Vileplume and the evolutions. Some interesting facts about this card is this card contains the word Illustrator at the top instead of Trainer, and this is the only card to do so. As well, this is the only card with a unique pen symbol in the bottom right corner of the card, and is one of the few Japanese promotional cards that feature a double star rarity. If you look at the bottom, you'll see 2 stars. It is not that common. You might be wondering, how did the original owners even get their hands on this card? Unlike normal Pokemon cards, which you can get in booster boxes, this was distributed differently. In Pokemon's history, the Illustrator Pikachu was handed out 3 separate times via 3 different events. The first event was a Pokemon illustration contest. The winner of this contest was announced on the January 1998 issue of CoroCoro Comics, which released in December 1997. The Pokemon Company separated winners to 3 different tiers, first being the best, second being excellence, and third being special. Before I get into what each tier was rewarded, take a look at some of the great artwork that was submitted and won this competition. I'm a big fan of the Poliwrath, the Snorlax, and the Mr. Mime. I think they all look awesome. Alright, now back to prizes. Let's start off with the best award. So this was for the top 3 winners, each of them receiving 20 copies of the Pokemon trading card featuring their illustration. For example, if they drew the Poliwrath, they would have received 20 of these Poliwrath, as well as special Pokemon Illustrator card, which is the Illustrator Pikachu. The second tier of winners was the Excellence tier, and 20 entrants were selected for the Excellence Award, all of them receiving a Pikachu Illustrator promotional card. And then the last tier of winners was the Special Award. Each of them received a 1998 Pokemon Original Calendar, and unfortunately for them, they just missed out on the most expensive Pokemon card in history. So just from this first contest, 23 Illustrated Pikachus were already given out. Now let's go to April 1998, where CoroCoro Comics released another illustration contest to celebrate the upcoming Pokemon movie in July that year. This contest was a little bit different. It asked the readers to create their own original Pokemon trading card, and it was divided into 2 categories, which was the illustration category and the Pokemon attack category. And just like the previous contest, the winners were separated into 3 different tiers. We had the best, excellence, and special. And before I go into that, just take a look at this beautiful card which was chosen as the winner. So one participant received the best award. They received 20 physical copies of this card and a Pikachu Illustrator promotional card. Now let's go to the excellence category. So 4 entrants received the excellence award for the illustration category. As well, 3 received the excellence award for the attack category. Each of them received a Pokemon Illustrator card, which was the Pikachu Illustrator card. The last category of awards was the special category. This is where 30 participants were chosen, and each of them received a Mewtwo's counterattack and a Pikachu Summer Vacation teaser poster. Once again, I feel very sad for these people who just missed out on getting that Illustrated Pikachu. So if you're keeping track, we got another 8 from this contest plus the 23 from the first contest. We're at a population of 31 Illustrated Pikachu so far. The final distribution of this card was via a 3rd illustration contest, which was to celebrate the upcoming Pikachu short, which was attached to the Mewtwo counterattack movie. This contest was exactly similar as the one before. There were two categories, the illustration category and the attack category. And unlike the other ones, there was two different winning tiers. There was no best award, there was only excellence and special. And those in the excellence award, there was 4 winners for the illustration category and 4 winners for the attack category. And each of these winners got an Illustrator Pikachu, which brings the total up to 8 Illustrator Pikachus for this contest. And then for the special award, a Pokemon Pikachu plush was given. So if you're keeping track, once again, now we're up to 39 Illustrator Pikachus, and as you see, it was not easy to get. That being said, being a card which has only a population of 39 cards, makes it one of the most limited Pokemon cards ever. Currently, no one knows the whereabouts of all 39 cards, and not sure how many remain today. For all we know, some could have got destroyed or forgotten or even lost. But what we can do is take a look at the PSA population to get a good idea of how many are out in the wild today and what grades they are at. Out of the 36 Pikachu Illustrator cards which were distributed, 26 is accounted for in the PSA population, meaning collectors have sent this card to PSA to authenticate as well as grade to make sure to preserve this card. So if you look at the grades, 4 of them were just sent to PSA just to authenticate and make sure the card is legit. Then the next one, we have a grade of a PSA 4. So there's a single population of that one. And then there's a population 2 of a PSA 5. We have population 1 of a PSA 6, population 2 of a PSA 7, and then at a PSA 8 we have 7 copies available, and at PSA 9 we have a whopping 8 copies available. And if you go to the PSA 10, there is only 1 copy available, and that is the one which Logan Paul currently owns. Just looking at this population, you can see why this card is so expensive. First of all, you see how hard it was to even get this card. Second, you gotta hunt down someone who owns this card and buy it from them and hope it's in good condition. And third, you gotta get it graded and hope it grades at a high grade. I have something extra for you all. I hopped over to eBay to see if there was any Pikachu illustrators just listed for sale, and to my surprise, I saw a CGC 8.5 was listed for $1.25 million. This is not even a perfect 10, and even that goes for millions, which is crazy. And if you're wondering what this text here is saying, let me translate that for you. We certify that your illustration is an excellent entry in the Pokemon card game illustration contest. Therefore, we state that you are an officially authorized Pokemon card illustrator and admire your skill. That's pretty cool and neat. Going back to some more interesting sales data, in 2019, a PSA 9 Pikachu Illustrator sold for $195,000, and at that time, it set a Guinness World Record for the most expensive Pokemon card sold at auction, which is kind of crazy to think now the prices that Logan Paul and some other people have purchased this card at. And then following that, last February, a Pikachu Illustrator card, which is a PSA 7, sold for $375,000, which set another world record. Now moving to February 2022, another PSA 7 copy of this Pikachu Illustrator was sold, and then the prices just kept going insane. This card sold for a whopping $900,000. That just sounds crazy to even say out loud. $900,000. That is safe to say there is a crazy demand for this card, and when this card does come out for sale, it attracts all the high ballers to get a piece of Pokemon history in their collection. And one of the most recent data points we have is NFL player Blake Martinez sold his copy of the Pikachu Illustrator, which was a CGC 9.5 for $672,000. And honestly, I feel like he could have got a bit more for this, so I'm not sure why it did go for that low. It could, even if it wasn't a PSA slab, I feel like it could have commanded a bigger premium, but it is what it is. All I gotta say is this is the most expensive and one of the most rare cards in Pokemon history. Alright, if you made it this far, I did mention in the beginning of the video that there was an interesting fact about this card that you might not know. Before you get there, please hit that like button and leave a comment. It does help the YouTube algorithm do its thing and gets out to more Pokemon fans just like you. As well, consider subscribing if you do enjoy content like this. So what I was actually getting at was 2 additional copies of this card did show up later on in 2019. It appeared on Japanese auction websites, and it seems it was put up for sale by Yuchi Kono, which was one of the 4 people involved in creating the rules for the trading card game. So it seems like there were some other copies of this card out there which we did not know about. So now that makes me wonder, is there some more other copies out there that which haven't been discovered yet? Imagine finding one of these cards in the wild. That would be so great. But yeah, that is all. I hope you did enjoy this video. Thanks again. This is Trainer Sin signing out.